what it was like to get the bus. We drove, I think it was 3 hours. We went down there through Minneapolis, which was a mess. They've got the bridge closed down. We missed the detours. The detour signs were confusing. It was a mess. I mean, that was stressful in itself, but we ended up getting through it. Got down to Goodhue, Minnesota, which is actually near Northfield. It's by Red Wing, Minnesota. And we got to this guy's farm. He owns like a 10-bus transport company for the school. And then they got this bus here. Now, I was a little kind of pissed off that they had all these. The Craigslist post was not what the bus was exactly. The post said 1997 in the title, $2,500, 147,000 miles. The description said 1995 bus with 158,000 miles. Okay, DT466 engine, which is what I was looking for. Manual, which was even better in my opinion. So we get down there and looking at it. First thing, I'm looking at the exterior, looking at rust, went underneath it, took a big drill bit and was tapping on the frame. Everything seemed okay. There was rust everywhere, but it wasn't soft. I think most of it's on the surface. I haven't decided if I'm going to put a rust inhibitor on it or not. So okay, there is rust. Tires, rear tires are 10 years old. Front tires were 9 years old. He said they were good tires in his description. They're not. We may or may not have to replace them. Tread was relatively low. I had him turn the engine on, and it took me a while. I eventually had to ask where you put the oil in, because I was looking for an oil cap. But they just have a dipstick channel where you put the oil in. And check the blow-by compression test. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Essentially checks the compression of the pistons, make sure there's not too much leaking. There was a little exhaust coming out of the oil area, oil cap, but I think it's okay. I mean, we're not going to be driving it that much, so I'm hoping that'll be fine. Interior looked fine. 77 passenger bus, but it has 12 windows. So I thought it was going to be 65 capacity. Everything looked pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Asked him if he'd drive down the road and back with us in it. He did. He said everything runs good on the engine. They've never had any issues with it. They replaced the rear brakes recently. I don't know. We spent a lot of time there looking at stuff and making sure everything was good. And I looked at the fluids, checked the oil. I didn't check the radiator fluid or anything, or the transmission fluid. I couldn't get the cap open. I didn't want to screw around with it. But anyway, eventually I looked at how much gas was in the tank. It was only a quarter full. So, okay, well, we want the bus, but will you take $2,300? It's going to cost us $150 to go fill up the tank. And, the tires aren't that great. So, well, can't really go $2,300, but I'll do $2,400. Okay, deal. Sign the title. I printed out and brought a bill of sale, because that's what I've read is good online. That's what the DMV says to do. Get a bill of sale, even though it's not required by the state of Minnesota or Wisconsin. He'd never seen one before. He didn't even know what it was. He didn't even know about the blow-by compression test. He didn't know that there was compression tests for diesels. But that was the other thing. He also said that it was they had Minnesota DOT inspection last year that it passed, so I had the sticker for that, which I don't know how great those things are, but Bought the bus. I said, okay, 2400. You go through the thing with how to operate it. He showed me the engine stop and the throttle, I think is what you call it. It's got to be the throttle. Keeps the RPMs higher or lower, wherever you want. Batteries actually probably need to be replaced too. Though we're not going to be using that much, so they might be okay. And we drove it.